Hello guys, and today I am going to play this video on my phone.
Summer's Eve gentle foaming wash. Freshened with simple ingredients.
Okay.
Over the past couple of
Alright, so I'm going to play this video on my phone here because you'll be able to hear what's being said, and I am going to, I guess this was from a while back or something, I'm not sure, it doesn't say on my phone. So basically I've got videos on YouTube from like a couple of months ago talking about cultural appropriation and why minorities hate it. And I'm going to watch it and talk about a little bit about it. So I will pause the video here and there and kind of give my point of view and why this is such an utter nonsense.
Years, you've probably heard this word more than ever: cultural appropriation. Grey's Anatomy's Jesse Williams and other activists have spoken publicly about the topic. There are hundreds of different ethnicities that make up the U.S. population, so it's not surprising that at times cultural groups rub off on each other. If you grow up in a diverse community, you may pick up the dialect, customs, and religious traditions of the cultural groups that surround you. And of course, use inventions made public to everyone for consumption.
Okay, so you jump from one thing to another real quick. Alright. So what they're saying is that the U.S. is made up of a lot of different cultures, essentially, and it's not unusual for, cultures to exchange. And that's especially true here in America. I mean, that's kind of what America's about. Other cultures come here, show us why their culture's so great. We, implement some of that culture, appreciate it, respect it, and learn about it. And, it becomes more popular, mainstream, and therefore items and products of those cultures will sell because of the history and the culture behind it. Not just because the items are cool and we just want to have them because we're racist assholes.
Cultural appropriation is an entirely different matter. Instead, cultural appropriation typically involves members of a dominant group exploiting the culture of less privileged groups, often with little understanding of the latter's history, experience, and traditions.
Less privileged groups? So wait, hang on. So now we're going to go on white privilege? Really? Please tell me what privileges that I have that you don't, because I could guarantee you I could walk through every freaking facet of my life, and yeah, you can't tell me I've got some sort of invisible privilege that I cannot see. I mean, I've never gotten a job just because I'm white and better than another employee or better than another skinned person or something crazy like that. I've never experienced this type of, this is stupid. So basically, it's okay for other cultures to rub off on other cultures if you grow up around it. But if you don't, you're appropriating someone else's culture. So you're stealing somebody else's culture if you don't grow up around it. You can't just be curious, interested in learning about it. What's wrong with that? Why does everything have to be so racist? Or why does everybody have to be called racist just because they want to learn about something different? That makes no sense to me. And how would the U.S. change or grow or learn from any of these things if we didn't appropriate other cultures and respect them and find some sort of common ground to share with them? I mean, really, if we were that bad, no one really would want to be here.
Instead, cultural appropriation typically involves members of a dominant group exploiting the culture of less privileged groups, often with little understanding.
Less privileged again. So, with the less privileged thing, I don't understand here. So you're going to have to, I've watched videos of white privilege, and all those videos are just straight and utter bullshit. And to be honest with you, I was raised by my Indian grandmother. So, yeah. Pretty sure my grandmother would have told me about some of this white privilege that I was going to get.
Of the latter's history, experience, and traditions. This is why it's often said to be offensive.
Oh, so because you think I don't understand it, or you're not sure if I have an understanding of the culture or whatever behind it, that I'm some sort of terrible person for wanting to try on a different style or see what looks good or learn about a different type of culture. You know, to be honest with you, you just showed me a person in a dress. Hang on, let me rewind this so you can see what.
And of course, use inventions made public to everyone for consumption.
Cultural
appropriation is an entirely different matter. Instead, cultural appropriation typically involves members of
that way I can show you what I'm talking
exploiting the culture of less privileged groups, often with little understanding of the latter's history, experience, and traditions.
Okay, here we go. So you're going to tell me, you see me here. I am a white person, correct? Here is a woman wearing a nice Mexican dress here, and that's some Mexican heritage stuff. So what you're going to say is this: I have no idea or know anything about this culture. I couldn't possibly understand or know anything about it because I'm white. There's no way I could possibly have ever grown up to understand any part of this culture. You think you're right about that? Well, let me just tell you something. I may be in Indiana right now, but I was raised in New Mexico from the time I was 3. So Mexican culture is very much embedded into my everyday life. All I ever ate was Mexican type foods and learned how to cook new Mexican style stuff. And let me tell you, it's fucking amazing. I appreciate the culture. I mean, I don't go around wearing the dresses, but I'm not a big dress fan either. But I do understand the culture. So you making the assumption based off of my white skin that I have no idea what it's like to be of any other culture. Plus, I just told you I was Indian. So if I rewound this video just a little bit, they got Indian people in here too. Like this.
Cultural appropriation is an entirely different matter. Instead, cultural appropriation typically involves members of a dominant group exploiting the culture of less
Indians,
groups, often with little understanding of the latter's history, experience, and traditions. This is why it's often said to be
offensive. Okay, I just told you my grandmother is Indian and she's half Indian, and so I don't understand anything about Indians either. Let me just tell you this. A lot of people in the United States aren't only white, and even if they've got light skin and look white, doesn't mean they can't be immigrants or originate from another land. It also doesn't mean that they don't have any other type of race or anything else in them. And just because all you can see is the white skin, doesn't mean that the heritage and everything else isn't still there and embedded in their lives. Who are you to tell anyone, whether that person be of any color, what to do, what they can and can't wear, and how offensive it is to you? It's offensive to me that you think it's offensive that I am trying to appropriate my own culture and things that I grew up around. That's what's offensive. And you guys, people that believe that this is the way white people should feel, should be ashamed of yourself. So you want to keep everything separate? You just want to keep your culture to yourself? Okay, that means that you have to only basically be with only other people of your own race. I mean, really, we'll go right back into segregation again. This is the problem with the U.S. You think this is a problem? This is what's going to make the U.S. better. Taking other cultures, learning about them, appreciating them, and showing them off, and being a part of it. That's what's going to make the world better, not worse. And finding little petty things like this to pick about because you don't have anything else better to do, like, stop making videos on YouTube and get a job, like I do, because I work and I make YouTube videos. Nobody pays for my shit on YouTube. I don't get any type of income from YouTube. I tried the monetization thing. I've made no money off of it whatsoever. Nor do I really care, because I make these videos to help other people in the talk and get my word out there, because I feel like I've got something important to say. Now, I mean, if your only deal is to get on here and nitpick about why people are so freaking racist in today's society, 2017, yeah, we're so racist that the white people are trying out your hairstyles and, trying to appreciate your culture because, we're just racist assholes. We can't just like something.
Offensive. In the U.S., cultural appropriation almost always involves members of the dominant culture borrowing from the culture of minorities. African, Asian, Native, and Latino Americans and indigenous people generally tend to emerge as the groups targeted for cultural appropriation.
Well, you want to know why you say they're targeted for cultural appropriation? Let's see why. Well, I mean, Chinese, Mexican, and, African American people and people of minority descent already appropriate American and white people culture. So really, they don't have to appropriate our culture. They already have it. And then us trying to, take some of their culture, not really take it, but to appreciate it and be a part of it and accept it and make it a part of the United States, acting like it's such a terrible thing to do and such a racist, mean-ass, fucking white, jerkish thing to do. There's just another way for you guys to be racist and nitpick or have some sort of movement to protest. I mean, can't we all just get along?
Black music and dance.
Hey, wait!
Native American fact.
I know they just didn't show me Iggy.
Generally tend to emerge as
hang on.
targeted for cultural appropriation. Black music and dance.
Okay, and also another point on this whole they tend to be a target. That's because you named every other race there is other than white people. Other than white people, every other race is in here. So, of course, any white person that wears anything, I mean, there's a lot of people that live in China and Japan that move there and live there, grow up there, kids that grow up there that are white, that have this culture, come here and follow that culture because that's how they were raised or grew up or have family from there or whatever. Yeah. They're a target because they're the only other ethnic groups there is in, to appropriate. And music, you showed me Iggy. So basically, black people have some sort of monopoly on rap and hip-hop and R&B. You might as well go as far as rock and jazz, too. I mean, if you're going to go this far. So no other person can sing the same genre. That's like saying, okay, black people can't sing country. And that's not true because there are black country singers. Yeah, this is just a load of BS.
Native American fashions, decorations, and cultural symbols, and Asian martial arts and dress have all followed.
So you assume that I have no understanding of what the cultural symbol means to, why to have a dream catcher around. Well, let me just explain this. Dream catchers are, believed to catch all the negative energy and all the bad dreams that you could have that give you nightmares. Therefore, you hang them over your bed to catch all your bad dreams so that you have good dreams at night. You don't think people know this? You don't think white people know this? This has been a story that my family has told me. And not only that, but my other white friends' family has told them. And some of the other white kids that didn't have Indian families. I thought it was cool and I thought I might have known something another white person didn't know. But guess what? They already know it. So don't make assumptions that people don't know what they're wearing or the history behind it just because they're white.
And prey to cultural appropriation. In the United States, when a Caucasian person borrows the culture of a minority group, they are often raised to a higher level and praised more than an individual from that particular minority group.
Okay, I would like some proof of this. So where is the proof that white people are praised or treated better for wearing the same styles as another person of another ethnic group? I have yet to see it. Now, yeah, jobs and people are told not to wear cornrows or long-ass braids or matted hair or whatever at jobs, but it also depends on the job. If you're a customer service representative over the phone, most people aren't going to care what you wear, but you do have to have some sort of, BO check. You don't think white people have a problem with this? I know plenty of white people that were sent out of jobs because they didn't smell good enough to be at work. Or people complained that they sweat too much and they stunk, so they had to get some sort of perspirant or spray or whatever to spray themselves throughout the job day. So you don't think people have these problems? It's not only ethnic groups that have these problems.
Not because they use the borrowed material in a better way, but because those in their own ethnic group support them more than they would someone of another ethnicity doing the exact same thing.
Okay, so you're saying that other white people frown upon black people for wearing cornrows, braids, fros, and other things, but praise white people for wearing the same hairstyles. I would really like to see some evidence of people in 2017 doing this to people today. I'd like to see some sort of evidence of this, because I have yet to see any, and if I did, it would not be okay. But to be honest with you, I think this is just another fucking dumbass reason for somebody to just pull out and say that white people are just assholes.
We believe this is due to conscious and subconscious racism.
Ooh, conscious and unconscious racism. I love that. Oh yeah, so here you are, white people. If you're racist no matter what. And guess what? If you don't believe you're racist, you're subconsciously racist, because no matter what you do or how hard you try, something you say or do is going to be considered racist by another person. You want to know what that is? That is somebody's personal fucking opinion. It doesn't hold any weight. It shouldn't really fucking matter.
These white musicians, quote-unquote, borrowed the musical stylings of their black counterparts. Because of the intense level of racism, African Americans weren't widely accepted in U.S. society.
Notice how all those pictures were like of a time when there was segregation going on. Yeah, this has changed since then, guys. The world is not like this. And if you're just going back to show the history of black people, we can go back to the history of Irish slaves and stuff. I mean, yeah, black people find it entertaining that white people bring this up, but to be honest with you, that's also a part of my fucking history. My great-grandfather was Irish, my grandfather was Irish, my great-grandfather was Irish, and we originated from Ireland, too. So, yeah, that's a part of my history and my culture. So telling, me that my family's history isn't as bad or isn't as, whatever, I shouldn't be bringing it up because I'm white and fuck white people. It wasn't as bad as black people's slaves. So, fuck white people and their fucking slaves. Who gives a fuck about them? We were treated worse. No. Any slaves in any day and time and any color and any race and whatever is terrible and should not fucking happen. This shit ain't happening today.
Executives would have white recording artists replicate the original sound of black musicians. This led to the musical...
Now, they said replicate the sounds. Okay. So, yeah, if the rock and roll sound back then originated there with that sound, of course every other rock and roll sound is gonna sound kind of like it until a new style is adapted over time. There's nothing wrong with this. This is an artist thing, and you can't have a claim on a genre of music to a specific fucking color of skin, guys.
Forms such as rock and roll being largely associated with whites, in spite of the fact that black musicians pioneered.
Okay, they say that it, okay. Here is why people talk about rock and roll being a white person thing instead of a black person thing. Yes, black people did have black people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They were good rock and roll players, their music was great, and the sound was awesome. And yeah, the white people adapted that sound, made it a little bit faster, picked up the tempo, changed a couple of things, maybe added in some things here and there, and, eventually the sound of rock and roll changed. Then we adapted heavy metal and every other fucking type of rock there is. And the reason that it's stated that it's a white person thing is because you don't see any black people playing rock and roll today. Only white people are playing it. I mean... That would go for anything. So, yeah. And you think that white people don't understand that rock and roll originated with black people? Come on, give me a break. You act like we're so ignorant we don't know the history of anything. Fuck school you go to.
Near the art form. Music was an opportunity for blacks to advance financially when low-income jobs were usually the only option. With this appropriate...
Okay, so basically only black people should be able to entertain people with music because they got paid more to do it, and white people took that away from them. We're also talking about the fucking past when, white people and black people weren't allowed to, mix together and mingle together to enjoy the same music and stuff. So white people basically adapted rock and roll and made it a white, made white people appreciate it too, in their own way. Because, basically, then, you just didn't mix because it was frowned upon. Yeah, that was a terrible time, but that's not going on today.
Asian made it difficult. This is why minorities are angered when white people appropriate their culture. They have the power to blot out another race's contribution and take their creation.
I have the power, so if I wear a Indian headdress because it's part of my culture, I have the power to erase all Indian history and heritage. Same with Mexican and African American people. You really think that the history books are going to be wiped and everything's going to be forgotten if white people start dressing like other cultures? Are you that ignorant? I mean, seriously. You can't change American history like that, and nobody's going to change the books. It's always going to be this way. This is the history. You're just stating what the history is, thinking that people are forgetting about it because, God forbid, white people, man, they saw it only when they were little. They have no idea what it's like, They still don't understand. We need to show it to them as adults. We need to drill their shit in. I mean, this is like making a 5-year-old watch the Holocaust over and over and over fucking again. I mean, you don't think they understand it the first time they seen it? They don't think it was terrible or horrible, the things that happened? You don't think that, they fully grasp the concept, so they need to watch it over and over and over and relive it every fucking day of their life and feel miserable for their ancestors and things they really didn't do? Basically, you're telling me because I look white, I got this privilege, I need to check my privilege, shut the fuck up, pity you guys for having to go through slavery, even though if you, are my age, or my parents' age, or my grandparents' age, you weren't specifically a slave or segregated yourself, I still need to treat you like, like I did these things to you. I didn't do these things to you. I never owned any slaves. I don't advocate for segregation of people. I like equality of everyone, and we do have equality. This shit needs to fucking stop.
That's own as their own. No one wants to be overlooked, ignored, or erased, especially when their ethnic group is already marginalized and on the bottom of the totem pole in society.
Okay, bottom of the totem pole. So basically, this is what the U.S. would look like if the majority of white people are the majority of the United States. The lower people on the bottom of the totem pole of other ethnic groups are because there aren't as many of those ethnic groups in the United States and holding down those types of jobs. Not because they can't do it, but because they either don't have the skill, the know-how to do it yet, they don't get the education to do it, or haven't gotten it yet. And yeah, so what? Give everybody a free pass, allow them to be in politics if they don't have the education, know-how, or understanding of how to run politics? Are you fucking kidding? I mean, what do you want from us? To give everything to you and hand it up? Just give you a house, a car, and fucking be on your way? Oh my god, poor you. Your ancestors somewhere down the line, not you, not your parents, and not your grandparents, but somewhere down there was a slave. So let's just give you money, give you all this extra whatever. I don't really know what they want, what you want from me. Feel sorry, I was born white. I could have been just as easily born Mexican or black. It doesn't fucking matter. Could have been born any race. And here, I would still have the same fucking understanding, except for one difference. I'd just be raised in a different culture. That's all.
Elvis Presley was dubbed the king of rock and roll, but credits most of his success to pioneering black musicians. He later stated rock and roll was around a long time before I was.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Elvis. Let's give you a little fucking history lesson about Elvis. Elvis was around and raised in black culture. So yeah, he listened to rock music. So yeah, his inspiration came from rock music. Yeah, he showed respect and appreciation by stating that here. What do you want from the man? You want him to fucking not be Elvis and not sing songs because he's fucking white? Would this really be a problem if Elvis was a black man? Hell no, it wouldn't. It's just because he's a white man. That's why it's a problem. And they don't want to tell you the history of how Elvis grew up. I mean, this is just as bad a show as fucking Iggy. You want to show Eminem too?
I just jumped on the bandwagon. Over his career, he recorded many black artists' songs, like many other white artists.
Because he was raised in the black communities and understands them. It's that, honestly. Look up your history, people. What's wrong? We don't want to show Elvis history, though. We gotta make Elvis look like a terrible racist white man. Sounds what rock music kind of sounds like back then. That's everybody could surf it. So now we're gonna make the Beach Boys a terrible fucking group because they took the sound of rock and roll, or, you know, added to it and made it their own. If we did this, man, we'd have to get rid of a lot of these artists that are today because everybody's appropriating everybody's types of fucking genre of music. You can't claim a genre of music for your own culture. You don't do that. And in the U.S., we all share our shit. This is what happens in the U.S. You want to come here? You share your shit. We share our shit. We all get along. We all fucking learn from each other. That's how it is.
Cultural appropriation remains a concern. Madonna, for instance, popularized a form of personal expression known as vocal.
Cultural appropriation remains a concern? Are you fucking kidding? No, this is not a concern. This is a good fucking thing. You want this to happen. That means white people like your style. They like your culture. They like your history. They're learning about it. They're understanding it. They're appreciating it. They're respecting it. And they want to be a part of it. This is not a problem. This is a fucking solution. You guys turning it into the solution into a problem is the problem.
Which began in the black and Latino sectors of the gay community. To this day, many people associate voguing originating with Madonna. In 2013, Miley Cyrus became the pop star most associated with cultural appropriation when she began twerking on screen. Twerking is a dance style that has been prominent in the African American community for decades. Black men more often shamed for this form of dance and often called ghetto, but it was...
Okay. So you don't think that bending over, shaking your hips and your ass continuously like this in a sexual manner for men's appreciation to show them you can move in a sexy way while you're on top of them, you think that, you know, all women that really want men to pay attention to them aren't going to adapt this kind of shit? What's wrong with you? And for me, I don't think this looks good in black culture, white culture, or any culture, really. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But hey, everybody's allowed to have one. This is the fucking United States of America. I don't do twerking. I don't think it looks good. But that's just my opinion. Everybody else thinks differently. So the white people that want to twerk because they think it's sexy, it's a way to appreciate your dance style. How about showing some appreciation for that?
All cool and sexy when Miley began twerking.
I don't know if Miley Cyrus was considered cool and sexy, though.
Their genes innovative and edgy, while the disadvantaged group they borrow from continue to face negative stereotypes that imply they're lacking in intelligence.
So basically, we're taking 80 shit, comparing them to 2017 and 16 shit. So basically, black people and shit were ridiculed back in God knows when for these types of hairstyles or whatever. But really, if this is a 1980-some ad, this was what shows you that people were appreciating, understanding, and respecting your culture. So, like, if they've been accepting it since 1988, which is the year I was born in, then shit, man, I must be fucking right. You guys need to stop with this race-baiting bullshit. This is just a way to make white people look bad. You're naming off every ethnic group other than white people and explaining why every other ethnic group is mad at white people. You might as well just say why everyone else hates white people copying their shit. Honestly, it's not really a copy. It's a respect thing. Understanding. Appreciation. What the fuck?
Intelligence and creativity. When singer Katy Perry performed as a geisha, she described it as paying homage to Asian culture. Asian Americans disagreed, stating her performance was yellowface.
So all Asian Americans believe that Katy Perry was using yellowface? So now not only blackface is a thing, but yellowface is a thing too, right? Because white people are just dressing up like Asians every day and acting whatever way to make them look bad, make fun of them. You think Katy Perry was making fun of Chinese people by singing a song with Chinese dress and kind of like the traditional culture, Chinese and Japanese? Are you kidding?
The Wall Street Journal's Jeff Young said that her performance did not celebrate Asian culture but misrepresented it.
Hang on. This says, some people argue, now some people apparently they're talking for white people now. Some people argue white Americans would rather see someone from their race showcase another race's culture than the actual culture group the culture comes from. Are you serious? So you think that we don't... Do I really need to explain this? White people are not as stupid as you portray them to be. You're just saying white people are not educated enough to understand other people's culture. And we just need to shut up, sit the fuck down, and just, be silent forever because we're racist assholes.
The song she performed may unconditionally describe a woman who pledges to love her man no matter what. A stereotype that presents Asian women as passive and unconditional.
Hang on. So basically, you're saying that Katy Perry is stereotyping Japanese women by saying that she loves her man no matter what. Can't a white woman love her man no matter what? And isn't it traditional for a Japanese woman to love her man? Although I don't really think that any woman of any race or whatever should stay with, be abused by, or what have you, by a man and allow that to happen just to keep him happy. I don't see any woman in this day and age doing that. Again, we're taking black and white photos for this. And honestly, you think that Katy Perry really thinks like this stuff of this culture? Are you kidding? You think this famous person is just gonna get on live TV and make fun of a whole fucking culture? No, it was paying respect. You know how many people buy her shit, go to her concerts, and she just brought light to the Japanese culture? Do you know how many people are going to want to, learn a little bit about that? I mean, it just sparks curiosity and makes people want to learn more. And this is a problem? For who? It's a problem for minorities because if they don't have anything, to complain about white people for being racist. I mean, really, that's the only thing they're complaining about. White people are racist. See, this is why white people are racist. All white people, anybody with light skin, you're racist assholes, and, you're just taking our culture and you're really erasing our history, and you're just making everything just yourself because you're just selfish, greedy, fucking racist assholes, and you want to make money off of everything.
Worshippers of their men, willing to pay any price and weather any kind of abuse in order to keep them happy.
Yeah, Katy Perry has brought light to different cultures.
Power imbalance that remains between those in power and those who've been.
Okay, so we got those in power. So we're looking at a picture. Hang on, let me pause this picture here. So Katy Perry has appropriated a lot of different cultures over the years, is what it says.
Cultural appropriation.
Okay, so here we got a picture of people in power. How fucking old is this photo? People of power? These people have fucking been dead for a long fucking time. They're all white men. You see any white women there? Because this was at a time when women couldn't be in place of power either. Not even white women. People. We have to judge up this much past, go back this far to find some sort of racism point and make a point as to this here. Hey, look, segregation also relates to cultural theft. Because you're stealing our culture. You're not appreciating it. You shouldn't have to go back this far to make your point.
And those who've been historically oppressed.
Historically.
For years, there have been a great deal of controversy surrounding Washington's professional football team, the Redskins. Native Americans have vehemently denounced it, stating Native Americans are people.
Okay, the Redskins thing. Really? You have a football team. An appreciated and well-liked football team. Okay? Named the Redskins. They've been named the Redskins since... Well, let's see how long they've been named the Redskins. I'll just go to Google. Alright. when we're... Alright. So, I'm just going to read off the first one here. Here's the name controversy. Okay, so we've got... So, 1971, I guess, is what this one says. 1932. His name at first used by Native Americans. Okay, the NFL team moved historic Fenway Park and were left under. Okay, so basically, naming a football the Redskins, the football team the Redskins, wasn't a way to make fun of or treat American Indians like crap. It was a way to show respect and appreciation for the Redskins. And really, they called themselves the Redskins. This wasn't a name that people gave to them. This is, I mean, come on, people. We're going back this far, and the only controversy, it started just a few years ago. It hasn't been, I mean, the Washington Redskins have been named the Redskins longer than the controversy surrounding the name started. So if it was really a problem, it should have been, talked about more a while ago.
Not mascots. In California, they approved legislation that would ban 4 of the state's high schools from using Redskins as their mascot. How would white people feel if there was a team named the Pale Skins? Wearing a Native American's chief headdress is...
I wouldn't mind if there was a football team called the Pale Skins or the White Skins or the Crackers or whatever the fuck you want to say they are. I mean, really. It's a fucking team name. Why the hell should that bother me? It's a word on a screen and a team name. That's all. That's all it should be. Shouldn't be any huge underlying meaning behind the name of a football team except for the Redskins because they did it to appreciate the culture behind it. What is wrong with you?
Offensive, just like some Catholics would say dressing.
And me wearing a headdress for a chief or whatever of fucking Indian tribe is not something that would be offensive. That would be me appropriating a part of my own fucking heritage.
Up as a slutty nun is.
And you think that stops people from dressing up as slutty nuns and nurses and things? You think just because you and your opinion, and that's not everybody's opinion, because if you think all black people think this way, or all minorities think this way, whatever, you're ignorant, because not all people think this way. This is just some people think and feel this way because they want to be racist towards white people. And really, you calling white people racist, if you're calling all white people racist, you're calling the majority racist. That means that limits and, makes the name racist not as frowned upon as it should be. So really, you're just making it easier for people to actually be racist. So the people that are actually being racist can't really be punished because now we don't really know what the fucking term racist means because everybody's fucking racist.
Religious and culturally...
I mean, basically, that just means that you're white now.
All races need to learn it. Many black women have become angered when white women take on black hairstyles.
Oh, hang on. Not only that, black women are not only angered by white women wearing their hairstyles, but man, black women are mad and angry about white women dating black men and vice versa. I mean, that is a problem. That is a racist problem. That's a problem on all sides. Where you're interracial mixing like that and you just love the person that you're with for the person, not the skin color, and your children are biracial because, you guys are a different race, so your kids are a product of both your race mixed, and therefore, that's what's going to happen. That's what happened with my family. I look white because the majority of the mixing kind of bred me out to be white. I could have just as easily been brown, just like my daughter. But guess what? That's not how my genes played out. That's all. So basically, I should feel bad that I wasn't born brown enough for you. So now, because I'm light enough to be white, I've got some invisible privilege you think I have? Okay.
So what's the big deal? For centuries, black women have been criticized and laughed at for wearing styles like cornrows, locks, and bantu knots, being told their hair is too ethnic or African.
I mean, I like how we just claim all of this. You know how this mostly is about how white people are against black people? I mean, this doesn't have a whole lot of other cultures. I mean, we've got a few shots of, like, Indian people and Mexican people and Hispanic people in here and some Asians here and there, but really it's the majority just white and black. So it's just more of a black person basically telling us how shitty white people are because we're white.
The styles that originate from their homeland are called unattractive and unprofessional, with their texture often being referred.
I've never said that any other person's culture was unattractive or anything like that. I think that anybody that I think that little corn rolls with the little beads and things like that look so cute on the little kids. It doesn't matter what color they are. It looks cute on all. And these froze, look at that woman. That black woman right there, she's beautiful. That's a beautiful black woman. That is beautiful hair. Oh my god, look at that. She's beautiful. Who says this is not attractive? This is very attractive.
As untidy. Many styles have literally been banned in company handbooks and dress codes in schools. Many Caucasians mock black.
Hey, hang on, wait a second. Like, look, guys, here's some bullshit right here. That is a white person wearing black makeup. Who the fuck does this shit? How long did you have to search the internet to find that picture? And what's the story behind this picture? I would really like to know, because what the fuck? I've never seen this. Like, ever. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, other than Dear White People and the movie and on Netflix video. Have any of you other white people seen a white person dress up like this? And look at that hair. That's not incorporating black women's hair. That's a blonde wig, weave, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure. Being that I don't wear weaves or wigs or anything like that. So, to be honest, nobody does that. No white person dresses up in black makeup like that. Stop trying to make this a thing.
Until they decide to take an element.
Big butts too? Are you serious?
Black women have been wearing this style for years.
So, what are you trying to say? That white women that have big old booties or want to have a big, nice, round ass is a black person thing? Okay.
But it wasn't until a celebrity with European features wore the style that it was seen as.
That's fucking Iggy, guys. If I'm not mistaken, that's Iggy. That was Iggy. Why the fuck we showing Iggy? Because she's Caucasian and she wears cornrows, but I'm pretty sure Iggy came here to the States when she was like 16. I think it was in one of her songs. She came here from out of the States with no money or nothing and ended up in California, and apparently I would assume she grew up the rest of the way with black people or associating with them, because she sure does know quite a bit about their culture, and she's always dressing up like that. She hangs around with a lot of black people who are very close to her, things like that. So, I mean, there's got to be more to the story. She's not just taking on and stealing your style and making fun of it or something. That's what you guys are saying. You're saying that people that dress up in black people hair, you know, whatever, or another culture's clothing or whatever, we're making fun of them. But if it's done in a light where it's a music video or anything else that's in a way to show the beauty aspect of it, that's not appreciation of the culture. That's stealing it. I just think we're just pulling shit out of thin air and wording it to make it sound fit your narrative.
For years. But it wasn't until a celebrity with European features wore the style that it was seen as a trend. Many white people try to argue that black women are appropriate.
That's white woman hair, though.
This argument is one that largely overlooks the context of white supremacy based on the assumption of social equality. White culture has been imposed on minorities, often to the point of death.
Hang on a second. Wait a second. Did you see that? Look at these old-ass pictures. I can't understand this. This happened in my family. I just fucking said it. My grandmother's grandfather, and if your history is fucking valid from 60 years ago, so the fuck is mine. My family had to do this. I may look white, but I've got the Indian within my blood, and I feel it. Like, I feel the connection with, I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't tell me that my history don't matter. You can't tell me that I don't understand this. I understand this more than you think. And not only that, if you're showing us, and if you don't think that's valid enough for you, then this shouldn't be valid. Then you showing these fucking lynching video or pictures from 100 years ago, you ain't allowed to do that if you can't accept my history either. No one says it's unattractive or unprofessional.
Handbooks and dress codes in schools. Many Caucasians mock black culture until they decide to take an element of it on.
See, yeah, okay.
Black women have been wearing the style for years, but it wasn't until a celebrity with European features wore the style that it was seen as a trend. Many white people try to argue that black women are appropriating white hair. This argument is one that largely overlooks the context of white supremacy based on the assumption of...
So basically, white supremacy basically equals what? Social inequality for minorities. So all white people are fucking racist because white people are in places of power and there's no black people within our own government system, guys, or any Chinese or Mexican people within any types of power. So no other race is a judge or whatever, so we should see all white people within every position of power within the United States. You really can say that's true today in 2017?
Social equality. White culture has been imposed on minorities, often to the point of...
So basically, look at this. We're gonna show a lynching photo. A lynching photo. So what? All these people here are white. These are black people being hung up because these people here are racist assholes. And they hung these guys up because they were people of a different skin color. And therefore, these white people here who were complete and utter assholes decided that their lives weren't valued as much as these white assholes here. So what? I'm supposed to be feeling sorry or apologizing for the fact that I'm white because these white people were assholes? Let's see how much sense that fucking makes. How about the the assholes that are black now calling white people racist assholes because we're white? That's a racist thing. Any person can be a fucking racist asshole. If you're a racist asshole of any color, you're a racist asshole. That's how it is. And these people are racist assholes. I'm not in there. Where's the picture of me? And notice how all these are men too, so... Oh, there's a couple white women there. Okay, and some children. Okay, right in the front. Just very few. Because probably they're were made and forced out too because women didn't have rights either and they just had to do whatever the men told them to do. Yeah, you really think I'm one of these type of people? Okay. This is just frustrating and pissing me off. Assimilation. Yeah, where Americans, basically, before any of my freaking family got here, Americans made my great-grandfather assimilate to an American man, change his last name and dress more American, get a job, and assimilate into society. And then, nowadays, they don't do this. They don't whip you and force you to assimilate to our society. Now you immigrate here, and when you legally immigrate, you become an American citizen. We all are all united under one freaking culture, which is the American culture. The American culture adapts other, pieces and parts of other people's culture and makes it their own culture. That is what makes America fucking great. This assimilation shit does not happen. So you can't use this, oh, well, black people wear white people hair now because back in the day we were assimilated and made to be that way. Nobody's making you be that way now, so why is it okay now? Because you're a fucking American and it doesn't matter what race you are. You should be who you want to be, dress how you want to dress, and wear the kind of styles you want to wear. That's the whole thing. It's the whole point about being American. You're free to choose. includes culture.
Black women couldn't gain employment if their natural kinky hair wasn't straightened. They literally couldn't get a job to feed their...
Okay, so, here's the thing. There was a time when no white woman could get a job or vote either. Hello, you're not the only women who suffered. And pretty much, you know, making your hair being put up and things like that is just standard. Every white woman has to put up her hair too. I mean, so you don't get hair in food if you're working around food. You know, that's just basic common sense. You don't want a guy in McDonald's with a long-ass beard not covering his beard with a beard net cooking your hamburgers at McDonald's or any place, would you? I mean, they still had standards back then. You kind of had to put your hair up or do something with it to make it look clean and tidy. That's kind of the whole point. Being able to get a job, people are looking at you. And it's sad to say, this is what was expected of anyone who wanted to work in a place where you were working around food or being seen by other people. You had to look a certain part. It's called a job. There's still requirements today, even for white people.
Families if their hair didn't look like a white woman's instead of their natural texture. The most ridiculous argument for black cultural appropriation goes to skin bleaching, which is by far the most insulting of arguments. It goes without saying the byproduct of the white supremacist beauty standard is the bleaching industrial complex. Some minorities believe bleaching was a way out of their suffering. If I look more like those in power, I can rise to their level.
Again, we're talking about history. There are black people and other people of other minority groups in parts of power, like judges and people in politics. Come on now, we need to stop with all this history lessons. I know my history. I don't need to relearn it from you. I also know history that they weren't taught here. You know, the history of the Irish fucking slaves. You know, the history I decided to research myself because it's a part of my fucking heritage. You know, because white people are too ignorant to research their own culture and heritage to understand it. Or anyone else's.
Conditioned through TV, magazines, and incomplete history books to believe their inherent inferiority.
Oh yeah, so basically you're saying that children are taught to be inferior. White children are taught to be, superior to any other race, and any other race is taught to be inferior to other races. If that was true today, here's the thing. I've seen this in many households, not only my own. I have 2 daughters. Here we go. My oldest daughter. Do you want to know why she loves this doll? Because this doll looks like her. You don't think this doll looks like her? It does. She's that brown. She looks like an Indian girl, and some people even mistaken her for Mexican. My other daughter, do you want to know who she finds beautiful and the dolls she likes to play with? Here we go. This is who my youngest daughter, who's 3, finds beautiful. And I think she's very beautiful too. Check out this doll. Check this out. Beautiful doll. Beautiful hair. Beautiful color. Beautiful eyes. Look at that. Beautiful brown eyes. Look at that. Look at that. She's beautiful. White people are taught to feel superior to black people. You're basically saying all white people teach their kids to be racist. Yeah. Okay.
To their white counterparts, just like many white kids believe in their superiority to everyone else.
Wrong.
Their struggle to be affirmed feels trivialized. It undermines the true meaning of their cultural components. They feel as if society values a white person more for doing something than if they do it. And it ignores...
That sounds more like an opinion than an actual problem. It sounds like, hey, look at me, I'm a minority, and since the majority is white people and are taking on other parts of other cultures, they're just making fun of us and treating us like crap and taking our culture and just shitting on it. Yeah, when actually there's people in the U.S. here stomping on the American flag and acting like crazy assholes. Yeah, those are some racist people.
Issues their community deals with in this country. Someone wants to rock cornrows but refuses to fight for injustice in minority communities.
So basically we're talking about police brutality. So you think that minorities are the only ones that experience police brutality? Police brutality is a real thing. And that's because police are in a position of power. And police are of all different races. You don't think there's black cops? But you notice how they're just showing you the skin color of the one white cop up front, right? I can almost guarantee you there's a black person in there and a Mexican person in there too. This is not a race problem. This is a person in a position of power or whatever. This one may not be abusing their power, but there are some that do abuse their power. That is a real and genuine problem. Problem is that we all can't unite under a united front because minority thinks that it's all about minorities and that the majority can't experience this type of fucking problem too, and that majority can't be this hurt or this abused. When they're wrong. It's just not shown on the news, and there's more of them. Look at YouTube.
Many minorities don't have any issue with Caucasian people adopting certain elements of their community, but they do feel certain things are off limits and just offensive. We have to walk around as black.
Okay, well, hang on here. You got people in hijabs. Okay, so basically there are some white women who identify as Muslim and wear a hijab. Okay, so you're saying that they're not allowed to take part in the religion they choose to be here in America because they're white? I mean, literally, you're just saying that we're just wearing these as costumes and wearing them just for fun and to make fun of people. That's not right, and that's not what's happening.
Brown, yellow, and red faces every day. Deal with the hate, stereotypes, judgments, and laughs.
Because, white people can't be stereotyped, judged, or laughed at. That's what you're saying. And you're wrong. Because I've experienced all aspects of this. And you're ignorant if you think that's not true. You just refuse to see anything that doesn't fit your own racist fucking narrative. Because you were born with some blinders on and you refuse to see anyone else suffering with anything. And you can't even see when you're fucking being racist yourself. This whole video is fucking racist against white people. Because you're basically saying white people are just racist assholes making fun of everybody's culture. Over and over again.
Here, white has been made the standard.
Because it was founded by white people.
Every day in this skin, representing our culture. It's not a costume that we can take off like you can take down a hairstyle. If you want
Nobody's saying it is.
Relationships, be a supportive.
So now, there's no way that white people built relationships with people of any other race when they dress up in other headdresses. In fact, that's when white people start to do it because they've built these fucking relationships with the minorities and they're trying to understand more. This is not a problem, this is a fucking solution, and you are making it and turning it into a problem. That is the problem. You making this a problem is a problem.
Ally. And listen instead of always defending. The worst thing to do to a person is...
And that's how you try to shut up white people with a valid opinion. You say that we shouldn't talk to you or argue points that are pretty valid. Black people were slaves. Yeah, so were white people. So why can't we use our slavery card like you can? And we say card because basically it's like something that you pull out your pocket. Comes out of nowhere. Like, hey, what's up with you? Oh, nothing, blah, blah, blah. You talk about raising kids or something, and out of nowhere you say something, and it's, oh shit, you're a racist. Look, my ancestors were slaves. Check out this picture from 100 years ago.
To tell them that their experience isn't valid.
Nobody says that your experience isn't valid, but you're telling us that our experiences aren't valid either. You're saying shut the fuck up because your experience means nothing. You can't possibly understand. You're saying our experience and our understanding of any of this isn't valid at all. When really, I experienced racism by minorities because I was a minority in my fucking state. New Mexico is majority Mexicans, so out there, if you're white, you're treated like shit. And it's really hard to make friends. And when you do make friends, guess who your friends are? They're Mexican people. And guess what you learn? Mexican heritage, Mexican culture. You want to know what else you learn? Especially if you have family members from Ireland or Germany, you learn about the Holocaust even more so than you are in school. You learn about how it was to fight those wars and the tragedies behind it. I also have people that are veterans in my family. So yeah, I can't possibly know what it's like to experience any type of racism or the feeling of what it's like to be a minority in your own home fucking state. Yeah, when everyone else around you isn't the same color as you, looks down on you because you're white, calls you a racist piece of trash, treats you like shit, then you go home and get treated like shit from your family, you don't think people understand that? You don't think that I know what it's like? Okay, that's your opinion. That's you saying that we're not valid.
Representation or credit is telling them you're not important. But we know we are. Our creations are us. And even if we all die today, we will still live on forever through what has been borrowed and stolen from us.
Borrowed and stolen.
Hi, guys.
Okay, you can't steal culture from anyone. Borrowed, yes, of course. And that is what you want. You want your culture to carry on when you're gone. You think that everybody, all the white people here are going to stay white and all the black people here are going to stay black? No, we're all going to interracial mix. Eventually, we're all probably going to be one race, at one point or another, unless we keep continuing to have these small groups of people who want to keep the white race going or the black race going or whatever going. Me, I don't care about race. Shit, I think it would be better if we were all the same fucking race. But guess what? That's not the reality of it today. And you guys saying that white people's points aren't valid and that we can't defend ourselves because of slavery? Really? I put quotes on slavery because slavery doesn't happen here in the U.S. today. It doesn't. And all these problems that you say are problems, you're turning them into problems by contributing them or relating these, appropriating culture to being a fucking slave owner and being segregated and being one of those people that are like that. You can't say that. Everybody's experience is valid. And that includes white people. You need to stop over-talking white people and stop putting them down by bringing up valid points. It is a point. Black people were slaves. Irish people were slaves. So anybody of any race could have been slaves. It was a shitty thing to do. We can all understand that. Want to know why? Because none of us, especially kids my age or my parents' age, can even understand what segregation or slavery actually is. I've got shit where my family passed down stories of the Indian shit that my family went through, the hardships of the immigration to get here and everything else. Just like you guys. Doesn't mean that you actually personally experience these things. If you really think that you were made fun of because of your skin color in school, well, guess what? You're not the only fucking one. White people get it too. Kids are cruel sometimes, and people will make fun of you no matter what you do, say, or wear, or think. People are going to have an opinion. That's just how it is. And to tell people what they can and can't do, what cultures they can and can't have, you're just basically trying to take the freedom that makes the United States what it is. We have the freedom to choose what culture we want to be in, what race we want to associate with or feel more connected to. We have the right to gain more knowledge or understanding of different cultures. You can't just pick and choose what the fuck you want. If you want everybody to be the same race as you and you really feel that people can't understand you in the United States, then maybe you shouldn't be here. I mean, really, if we're going to have problems like, a racial problem all the way up forever into the future of time, I mean, literally, Martin Luther King would be rolling around in his grave right now. Are you kidding? Like, this is crazy. This whole video was 9 minutes of just racist slurring about how bad white people are for trying to understand their own heritage, culture, and make other people's culture and shit that live here in the United States a part of the United States culture, like is what's supposed to happen. We're supposed to share cultures here. That's what makes the USA the USA. If you don't want to be in the USA and share your culture, go where your culture is. But guess what? The USA is still going to share it because you're going to still have people here with those cultures. And we're all going to want to know, grow, and understand from them. That's how it is. And if you don't like it, then you get the fuck out of here, probably. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It is the way it is. This is the USA. This is how it is here. Don't like it? Find somewhere else where you share the same points of view as that other country and try to go there. See how easy it is to immigrate from here to there. Because you can't just go from here and illegally immigrate to another country without any consequences. Good luck with that. Sorry, guys. This was a pretty much freaking video that got me heated up. Because they're basically telling me that my experience and my history and my heritage is invalid. I know why? Because I look white. Yeah, that's just not going to fly with me or anyone else. And the fact that more more and more people aren't standing up for this is insane. We need to get more people rallied up or something to at least kind of debunk some of the shit. I mean, if you're gonna sit here and call people racist assholes all the time, especially only white people, that's some racist bullshit. Just straight up, guys. That's some racist fucking bullshit. I wouldn't stand for it if this was being said about a black person or any other minority group. I'm sure as hell not gonna stand here and stand up for the minority groups against the white people. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm part of every fucking thing. I'm part of the minority group in some ways and aspects of it, but I'm also part of the majority too. I'm not going to sit here and pick sides because I'm all parts of all of it. So I have a history in all of it. So I love all that history and that culture behind it. And I love myself for that. If you have a problem with it, then the problem lies with you and the people that have that problem. Not the people trying to get along and understand and be a part of different cultures that make the United States such a great fucking place to be. Come on. Guys, if you like this video, please hit like, subscribe. Feel free to share it on your social networks. Sorry, my tongue ring is kind of making it hard and my allergies making it hard to talk. Anyway, have a good one, and thank you for watching. See you later, guys.